Good morning. Today is Saturday, second week of Easter. Today is celebrated in the church the feast of Saint Mark, the one who wrote the Gospel. But I would like that we read the passage from the Gospel according to John, the Gospel, which would be read if the feast would not fall on today. So let us listen. That evening the disciples went down to the shore of the sea and got into the boat to make for Capernaum on the other side of the sea. It was getting dark by now, and Jesus had still not rejoined them. The wind was strong, and the sea was getting rough. They had rowed 3 or 4 miles when they saw Jesus walking on the sea and coming towards the boat. They were afraid, but he said, "It is me. Do not be afraid." They were ready to take him into the boat, and immediately it reached the shore at the place they were making for. The Gospel of the Lord. So I wanted to read this passage. Today we have this passage. Tomorrow is Sunday. We will have different Gospel. On following days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we will be reading from the discourse of Jesus in the synagogue at Capernaum, this long speech about the bread of life. And this passage of today comes in the Gospel of John in a very particular place. It is exactly after the miracle of the loaves, but before the long speech of Jesus Christ. And this long speech will be finished with the profession of faith of Peter. So it's quite important to see that this long speech of Jesus Christ about bread of life is surrounded by these two events. One on Jesus Christ walking on the waters, on the sea, and then the profession of faith of the apostles, of Peter in particular. So of course in the early church, in church in general, this passage have been always indicating it's not only kind of miracles event, that to show that Jesus is kind of supernatural, that he is able to walk on the waters. No, it is a sign of Christian, of all Christians, of attitude of every Christian person, walking ability to walk on the sea. Sea in the Bible, since the very first pages of scriptures, sea is the image of evil. Sea, maybe because it has this stormy attitude, something unstable, unknown, uncertain. Even the natural aspect of the water could serve as a kind of explanation why this force have been understood as evil. Whatever reason was used, water in the scriptures is really the symbol of death, of something against human. We see in the book of Revelation that in the new earth, new heaven, there will be sea no more. So there will be no pain, no death, no tears. There will be no more of this reality, what we consider evil. And the ability to walk on the waters, on the sea, it is, this sign of new life, that death have been conquered. And of course, this is for all Christians a great promise, that the disciples are here. This is the storm, this darkness. Seems that they're alone. We can see in the different details in all different Gospels about this passage. But we see that Jesus Christ is coming to that reality, to the reality of pain, of darkness, of loneliness. And he comes saying, "It is me, don't be afraid." That is a beautiful message of this passage. And of course, this ability that we will be, that all the reality of death in our life will be conquered in Jesus Christ. So that's very important that we hear this today, but also in this context, what we try to do, looking at this message about the bread of eternal life. And as we mentioned yesterday, that this speech will be, a very important moment for many of the followers of Jesus Christ. Many of them truly listening what Jesus have to say will stop following him. And maybe in this context, as to hear for us, to receive these words, do not be afraid. It's a very important message. Do not be afraid to listen. Don't be afraid to follow Jesus Christ. Do not be afraid, even if we maybe don't understand him. Maybe in the moment when seems his teaching a bit challenging, don't be afraid. Have a great day. God bless you.